Hello, everyone. Y'all know what this is. This is TaijhTV. Out with the G7, in with the BRICS nations. Today, the G7 has started, or yesterday, whenever the fuck it was. I just seen the videos today. But today, in my eyes, the G7 has started their summit. Immediately clowning Vladimir Putin. I'll show the video. These warmongers in the G7 are really poking the Russian bear. They know what they're doing. They know the cameras are rolling. When you see the video, these people know. These warmongers know exactly what they're doing. But BRICS nations already had their summit about a week ago, a couple of days back. And I'll get into that as well. But first, I have to show you the distraction. See, America doesn't move without a distraction to get the sheep over there while they conduct business over here. What happened over this past week, Roe v. Wade being overturned, was nothing abnormal. They had a leaked draft, rough draft, about 3 months ago, 2 months ago, that this was going to happen, and it finally did. So I wasn't shocked. Now, I don't agree with abortion, but that's your prerogative. But we'll watch the distraction. How about that?
Protests erupting nationwide. Reaction from Biden overturning Roe v. Wade. Demonstrators gathering at the Supreme Court, those in favor of abortion rights, at times facing off against many celebrating the justice's decision. Those protests spanning the entire country today, most of them peaceful, as 8.
That's how they do it. American propaganda news, mostly peaceful. Now, we've all watched videos since the announcement, and we've all seen gas being shot out at cannons from police, protesters jumping on cars, protesters throwing big old fireworks at police. Boom! We've all seen it. So that mostly peaceful shit's propaganda. But let's continue.
States already moved to make abortion illegal. Overnight, officers firing tear gas to break up a large crowd outside the Arizona state capitol. And in Iowa, police launching an investigation after a truck hit protesters at an abortion rights rally.
Truck hit protesters. I have all these crazy people. If I'm driving that truck, I got all these crazy people surrounding my truck, hitting my truck, trying to break my windows, standing in front of my truck so I don't go anywhere. Well, what else am I supposed to do? But remember, the propaganda says it's mostly peaceful.
In Cedar Rapids, one person taken to the hospital. Many now looking to the court after the conservative justices ended.
And this actually tripped me out. Where's that Jackson chick at? Wasn't she confirmed? Has that ever been done? Confirming a justice before a spot is available? Wow, this Biden administration's a real piece of work.
Constitutional protections for abortion. And Justice Clarence Thomas, in his concurring opinion, suggested the court might now rethink precedents set by other landmark rulings on gay marriage and contraception. Those words helping to fuel some of those taking to the streets today.
They showed you that black face, didn't they? Be prepared, lunatics, Antifa, Black Lives Matter. Be prepared, left, to blame the black male.
We have team coverage tonight, and ABC's congressional correspondent Rachel Scott leads us off from the Supreme Court.
Tonight, the Supreme Court's decision sending shockwaves across the nation.
My body, my choice.
From coast to coast, thousands protesting the end of the constitutional right to an abortion. In Los Angeles, demonstrators flooding the freeway.
Flooding the freeway and blocking traffic, and this is why you have incidents like this truck just fucking bulldozing through. That's not okay. You're leading people to get their lives ruined. But anyway,
overnight, a truck driver plowing through a crowd in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Police now investigating. In Arizona at the state capitol, officers firing tear gas at protesters. And in Providence, Rhode Island, a police officer, a Republican running for state office, has now been charged with simple assault after he was seen allegedly punching his political opponent at a protest. But outside the Supreme Court, cheers and relief for those against abortion rights.
I honestly cried tears of joy. It's been something that we have been waiting for so long, and now finally for the lives of so many of the unborn to finally be protected and recognized.
People are stupid. This is why Elon Musk is so devout to creating robots. This is why AI and transhumanism is going to be brought about very quickly. Humans are fucking stupid. And this is just on both sides, right and left. You've always had the right to have abortion. It's just been a state by state thing. You've always had the right not to get the abortion. Now, like I've told you, I don't believe in abortions. I think they're evil. But certain people do. And that's their fucking right. This is America. That's their fucking right. But right now, we got these type of lunatics right here. It's just one side of the aisle of lunatics. We got these lunatics shaking their ass. You know, pretty much doing exactly what they did when Joe Biden won the election. You know, just show their ass. All for abortion. All for killing a baby. Stupid. You've already had your Democratic fucking state say that they're not going to fucking eliminate abortion. Just fucking move there. More than likely, you already live there. That's what I'm saying. It's so stupid. But that's the distraction. The distraction is supposed to be stupid. Because here's the real deal. G7 meetings, BRICS summits, Agenda 2030, crypto, gold. This is the real fucking deal. This is what the world is revolving around right now. These issues, not the goddamn abortion issue. Nothing is going to change. Beyond your hatred for your fellow citizen, nothing is going to change. Let's listen to these rich white males and a white woman clown the Russian king. And I called him that. I don't give a fuck. They're going in on Vladimir Putin. Listen to him.
Jackie talk.
Don't you find that weird? As soon as he says that, oh, jacket's on, jacket's off, jacket's off, jacket's on, jacket's off, jacket's on. Didn't you just barely beat a no confidence vote, Boris Johnson? Aren't you leading your people to the hellfire? Everyone at this table is leading their people to the hellfire. No growth, no innovation. Purposely done. I think so. Look, the Canadian Prime Minister, who on a world stage is a nobody. I know you've seen the video of the Brazilian president swerve him to shake the hand of the Chinese man. Let's wait for the picture. No, you waited for the fucking camera to talk. You're an actor. All of you at that table who say you represent multicultural, multi-ethnicities. I see nobody that's a multicultural or multi-ethnical person there. I just don't see anybody. I see a whole bunch of white people telling me how fucking non-biased they are. Telling me how great their nations are. If you looked how all these leaders handled the pandemic, continuing pandemic, continuing problems, they're all failures. All of them. All of them are failures. And they sit there and wait for the cameras to roll. They clown on Vladimir Putin. And we know that's impossible, Boris Johnson. We all have to show that we're tougher than Putin. No, see, you people at that table have ran on the legacy of your mighty nations. You yourself aren't mighty. You sit on the throne of a land that once was mighty. No, you'll never be as tough as him. Everyone knows it. The world knows it. You know it. Oh yes, bear checks back. Bear riding. Yes. They are intimidated by an alpha male. That table has no culture at all beyond one culture. And all their nations are the ones who go around talking about, oh, you guys commit genocide. Where's the representatives of Black people, Asian people, Arabic people, Haitian people? Where's a representative of anyone beyond a white person from people who preach diversity? See, that's the distraction that you just seen. That's how one of those members, Joe Biden, can push through a Supreme Court justice nominee when there's no vacancies on the bench. And I don't give a fuck that someone said that they were going to retire. I don't give a fuck. He has not retired. I looked at that picture. You looked at that picture. He's still there. He's still voting on shit. But at this meeting, UK, US, Japan, and Canada vowed to ban Russia's gold imports. Ooh. I ain't even going to read that bullshit because it's bullshit. There's certainly a gold stockpile at Russia disposal. Gold, I've made videos on this. This is all recent too. I've made videos on Russia buying the shit out of gold. So now the US and all those G7 nations, now they're going to put their foot down, huh? NATO's going to put their foot down on Russia's neck. Hasn't been going well lately. The Russian ruble is at its highest peak in the last 7 years. Remember when Joe Biden promised us just 3 months ago that the Russian ruble will turn into ruins? That hasn't happened. And now this genius idea of banning gold to get to Russia, it's ridiculous. As if Russia can't get gold anywhere else. See, that's the wool they put over your eyes. That's the message they want. They have no idea what they're doing. They have no idea what they're doing. All the brainiacs are with the BRICS nations. They're forming relationships with the BRICS nations. We'll get to it, but listen to this man.
In particular is pretty interesting. It's getting this safe haven bid. There are also questions about what Vladimir Putin is doing with the gold holdings and potentially buying more gold. How does that all stack up for gold's prospects?
Yeah, I mean, we had already seen gold rally on the back of a lot of these concerns. I think in earlier in February. I think, when we were looking at the market, we saw flows into ETFs, stronger sentiment, higher prices through much of the month as investors began to realize the risks that Ukraine and Russia's invasion of Ukraine would pose. What we've seen most recently, I think, is a really strong example of gold fulfilling that sort of classic safe haven bid. And as we recognize, and as you just mentioned, our high scenario of 2057, I think, reflects some of the worst case scenarios where we could see gold prices go as this crisis continues to escalate.
That's all I need to hear from this nerd. You just seen a classic example on gold being used for what it's designed for. See, Putin is not stupid. Those people at that table that you just seen, Joe Biden, President Trudeau, and France President Morocco, or whatever the fuck their stupid ass names are, they're the stupid ones. They're the ones leading their people to the hellfire. BRICS Summit 2022, Xi Jinping warns about expanding military alliances. I think he was talking to India. I think President Xi Jinping was talking to India. Don't get close to those Americans. See, India was just a guess for the G7. The invitation sent out from America. Oh, he's warning them. Don't you get fucking close to those Americans. But let's run the video.
Our top focus at this hour. This year, Beijing is hosting the meeting of BRICS emerging economies. The 5 nations, that is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. They account for more than 40% of the global population and nearly a quarter of the world's gross domestic product. And on the eve of a virtual summit...
Remember those stats. Don't ever let a G7 representative tell you otherwise. BRICS Nation is for real. Don't ever let NATO representations tell you otherwise. They are the idiots. They are the ones who are in trillions of dollar debt to China. And China is part of BRICS Nation. Do not listen to these propagandists and these NATO countries, these G7 countries. They're lying to you. I've been warning you for 2 years. Gold, silver, crypto. I've been warning you to get ready. It's coming. And I'll show you that too. But let's continue with this video.
Leaders from BRICS nations addressed a business forum. The summit comes amid a raging war in Eastern Europe. In a speech ahead of a virtual summit with other BRICS leaders, Chinese President Xi Jinping warned against expanding military ties. Xi told the BRICS Business Forum that the Ukraine crisis is a wake-up call. He warned against expanding military alliances and seeking one's own security at the expense of other countries' security.
India, don't you dare go to those fucking dirty Americans, India. Don't you dare put us out there like that. And if we find out, it's fucking over. That's what he said. But they'll interpret it a different way.
She also took a swipe at US and European Union sanctions on Russia, saying that sanctions are a boomerang and a double-edged sword. Listen to what he had to say.
历史长河，时而风平浪静，时而波涛汹涌，但总会奔涌向前。尽管国际形势风云变幻，但开放发展的历史大势不会变，携手合作、共赢挑战的愿望也不会变。
Now, amid an unprecedented Western sanctions imposed over Ukraine, Russian President Vladimir Putin called for a strengthening of ties with the influential club of BRICS emerging economies. After the Kremlin sent its troops into Ukraine, the West imposed sweeping sanctions on Russia, including restrictions on imports of its oil. Russia is now redirecting its trade flows and all exports towards the BRICS countries. The barrage of Western sanctions has pushed Putin to seek new markets and strengthen ties with countries in Africa and Asia.
In Africa. Smart cities being built in Africa. Akon City. He partnered up with Chinese government to build African smart cities. Do you see the fucking trend here? They are Xing these NATO rich, liberal fucking nations. They're Xing them out of here. Here in America, we've been living the sweet life, high on the hog. This shit's over with now. It's over. You are at the end of your world domination here in America, and I speak as an American. I see it. You think this inflation is going somewhere? It doesn't matter who the fuck president is at this point, and this inflation's here to stay. And it's probably going to get worse. While you have your yuans, your rubles going up in value, you got your American dollar, your euro going down in value. They need these SDRs to be a 1-for-1 for trade. They don't need one nation having leverage over another nation. When I say they, I mean the elites who control money. Your BIS, your World Economic Forum, your IMF, they do not want the U.S. to have this power. Trump exploited it too much. And I voted for Trump both times. And I love that he did it. But they fucking finally seen a president who was an American first president under this system. And he exploited it to the point of where America could have been a real fucking problem. If Trump would have had 4 more years, America would have been a real fucking problem. Not just to BRICS nations, but to the allies, the NATO allies, the G7 allies. He's making them pay their bills. Well, Trump was becoming a problem. He had to go. They had to do what they had to do to get him out of there. That's why all these billionaires are help running ads and throwing billions of dollars for Joe Biden. But anyway, that's a different discussion. China launches global development report ahead of the BRICS summit. Let's listen.
Global development has long been a part of China's reforming and opening up strategy. As such, Beijing has begun considering how to better understand the road to a sustainable future. A new report sets out to do just that.
It's sustainable. Remember, sustainable. See, the same verbiage is going through these elites, these up-and-coming nations. Sustainability, sustainability, cross-border payments, yada, 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 yada. You got to catch on to their verbiage. They're telling us. They have to tell us. When you wake up one day and you can't afford to live, they're going to look at you and say, we fucking told you.
The Global Development Report analyzes the progress and challenges in implementing the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, renews the focus on development cooperation and the building of global partnership, embraces digital revolution and green transformation, and realizes the sustainable development of mankind.
Agenda 2030, this is what it's about. They have no time to wait. Like I said, Trump showed them what it was. What real power would look like in the Western world. They have no time to wait until 2030. They're speeding shit up very fucking fast. The BRICS nations won. They won. You just haven't seen it yet. Here's an opinion piece. I want you to listen to what he says. Think about Agenda 2030. Listen to what this man says.
And of course, BRICS, should build alternative payment system, debt market, capital market, how to protect investment, how to exercise, property rights, titles, IP rights, We have in a new reality. Infrastructure could be in a way sophisticated. For all of this, we can use digital economy. We can use instrument, which will implement efficiency of artificial intelligence in a product which develop.
For 2 years, I've been warning you. For the people I know personally, I've been warning you. What's happening? How many times do these fucking billionaires, these elites, have to tell you what you need for you to actually go buy, when you can, what you need? We are coming in a time where they're going to fucking make this illegal. They're going to strip you away from this technology. Matter of fact, they won't even make it illegal. I was thinking about this the other day. A lot of these cryptos, these blockchains, I'm no longer calling them cryptocurrencies. There's only one cryptocurrency. That's a fucking CBDC, a central bank digital currency. These are going to be digital assets that will help process a central bank digital currency. It's going to change the whole process of it. But I've been thinking, these cryptos that I've looked up personally that are really good fucking cryptos that have partnerships with IBM, Google Cloud, Amazon Web Services, countries that are making relationships, your fucking Cardanos, your XRPs, your XLMs, your Ethereums, just yada, yada, yada. Most of them have a cap, a max supply. XRP, for example, is 100 billion. Already 50% of that's gone. XLM is 50 billion. Already 50% of that is gone. Now, XLM is, it doesn't have a cap, but XLM, or Ethereum, I should say. Ethereum doesn't have a cap, but Ethereum is expensive as fuck to buy. So not too many people are just buying 100,000 fucking Ethereums. Bitcoin. And Bitcoin will be used. Do not let them fucking fool you. Do not let them fucking fool you. Bitcoin has a cap of only 21 million. They are going to buy once global regulation happens with this crypto industry, and it's happening as we speak. It's happening. These people behind closed doors talking about it. Once this happens, you're going to see trillions flood into the market, and they're going to fucking buy up everything. But that little tin, whatever it is that you have, might be worth something bigger than just a tin that you put into it. I've been warning you guys for 2 fucking years. Don't nobody come to me asking for a fucking favor when they're left in the past. That's how I see it. Listen to Putin. When you hear that billionaire, that Russian billionaire talk about how BRICS nations needs to change the financial reserve system. Listen to what Putin says.
Together with BRICS partners, we are developing reliable alternative mechanisms for international settlements. The Russian financial messaging system is open for connection with the banks of the BRICS countries. The Russian MIR payment system is expanding its presence. We are exploring the possibility of creating an international reserve currency based on the basket of BRICS currencies. The Russian business community, in coordination with the business communities of the BRICS states, takes prompt steps to develop the transport infrastructure. Logistics routes are readjusted, new production chains are created. I would like to stress that Russia's strategy has not changed. While strengthening our economic, technological and scientific potential, we are ready to work openly with all bona fide partners based on the principles of mutual respect for each other's interests, the primacy of international law, and equality for all nations and peoples. During my address at the recent St. Petersburg International Economic Forum, I have already spoken in detail about our plans for further economic development and the creation of comfortable conditions for business in general, including foreign business. It is significant that representatives of foreign companies and entrepreneurs who came to St. Petersburg showed their willingness to continue working on the Russian market and adapt to new conditions. And we will certainly provide all the necessary assistance to them. In general, I would like to note that Russia is taking comprehensive measures aimed at mitigating the negative impact of sanctions and strengthening our trade and investment relations with all the states concerned. Our macroeconomic policy shows its effectiveness in practice. We were able to protect the Russian financial system and begin to stabilize the situation in the industry by providing targeted social support to citizens. The Russian state, first of all, focuses on stimulating the private initiative. We strive to expand entrepreneurial freedoms by reducing the administrative burden, launching new easy-term lending programs, and introducing tax and customs exemptions. We are actively engaged in redirecting our trade flows and foreign economic contacts to reliable international partners, first of all, the BRICS countries. Taking the opportunity, I am pleased to invite representatives of your states to the Eastern Economic Forum, which will be held in Vladivostok in early September, where many issues relevant to the BRICS business community will also be discussed. In conclusion, I would like to express my confidence that the work of the Business Forum of our association will continue to focus on expanding trade, business, investment and production ties of the BRICS countries. Certainly, I would like to thank the President of the People's Republic of China, Mr. Xi Jinping, and all Chinese friends for organizing this forum, and I wish its participants success and all the best.
I would personally like to thank the Chinese president. Do you see what's happening? He wants the BRICS nations' currencies, all their currencies. See, this is why he's doing what he's doing. Get it? Understand it. When he says you will buy Russian oil and Russian ruble, it strengthens his currency. Right now, his currency needs strengthened. It really does. First, let's go with SDR so you know what SDR is. SDR is not a currency. It is a potential claim on the freely usable currencies of the IMF. As such, SDRs can provide a country with liquidity. Very important for a country to have. A basket of currencies define the SDR. The US dollar, Euro, Chinese yuan, Japanese yen, and the British pound. You see, you don't see the Russian ruble in there. He's strengthening his fucking currency so that way when it's a part of the basket of currencies, it's all a one-for-one basis. There is no more per one US dollar. It's fucking 1,000 Russian rubles. Oh, no. It will be a one-for-one basis. This is why he has to strengthen his dollar. This is why. Look at those people. I was talking about diversity, multicultural. A Chinese man, a Russian man, a Brazilian, an Arabic guy, an Indian, and an African man. I see one white guy there. I see a Hispanic or a Latino. And I see a black. That's diversity. So when you think of the G7 and you see nothing but white men and only one white woman, think of the BRICS nation and their diversity and where they expand. Asia, Africa, the Middle East. South Latin nations. No, they've already won. You just don't know. Russia and China are brewing up a challenge to dollar dominance by creating a new reserve currency. Come on now. I just told you or showed you the video of what Putin had to say. That's all it is, just a repeat. I just wanted to show you the picture of that one. IMF, who I just read the SDR definition from the IMF. IMF lifts China's weighting on SDR currency basket. This was just May. It was just last month. Listen.
Hello, I'm Tian Wei, and welcome to World Insight. The IMF has raised the weighting of the Chinese yuan in the special drawing rights or SDR currency basket. In its recent SDR review, the lender raised the yuan's weighting to 12.28% from 10.92%.
The yuan jumped 12%. Remember that number. The yuan, Chinese yuan, jumped 12%. Listen how the American dollar jumped.
While the US dollar's weighting is up by 1.65% points.
1.65%. 1.65%. I'm telling you, BRICS already won. You just don't know yet. I want you to listen to the BIS for all you uneducated people when it comes to this new world that we are in now. Don't ever let them tell you that we are not in this new world. We are, because the BRICS won and you don't even know yet. This is the BIS. Listen to their agenda. All this has to do with Agenda 2030. But listen, BIS, the future monetary system. This was just June 21st, 5 days ago. See, you're looking at the distraction over there when in all actuality business is being handled over here. Not many of us will make it to where we think we will. Opportunity in America will decrease dramatically because the BRICS nation already won and you just don't know it yet.
Well, we certainly need to address the financial stability and investor protection issues. But as we say in the chapter, there are deeper structural issues. For example, the role of stable coins, which are very central in this ecosystem. So it tells us that the whole system is in search of a nominal anchor. So if central bank money didn't exist, it would need to be invented, as it were. The more serious problem is the fragmentation of the crypto universe, which means that crypto cannot serve the purpose of money in the sense that it doesn't recreate this virtuous circle.
Remember what I told you. Do not call it cryptocurrency. It's not currency. They're assets. They're there, not all of them, but they're there to help the new process with the CBDC, the stable coin that he calls it. They're there to help with the process. They're not there to take over. This is why I hate maximalists in the crypto sphere. Y'all think that their currency is the number one. That's where the basket of currencies will come from. They're not currencies. Remember the SDR, they said they are not currencies. The BIS has all kind of projects that they're helping or that they're doing to help usher in Agenda 2030. Project, I'm just going to show you a couple. I don't want to show you every fucking thing. I don't have all day for this. But Project Dunbar. Project Jura. I want you to listen.
Cross-border payments can be slow and expensive, but does it have to be? Domestic payments are usually fast and inexpensive because most banks connect to a single national payments platform. But there is no single international platform for cross-border payments. Instead, to make cross-border payments, banks need to hold foreign currency accounts with banks in other countries. This is the decades-old model of correspondent banking. A single cross-border payment may pass through multiple correspondent banks, adding costs and delays along the way. But what if we could merge all these separate banking systems and bring them onto one single common platform? That's the goal of Project Dunbar. We're exploring the benefits of a single international payments platform, similar to the national platforms that many developed economies rely upon. This single international platform will connect multiple central banks and commercial banks. Each central bank will be able to use this shared platform to issue their digital currencies, or CBDCs. Banks can then use these CBDCs in multiple currencies to make payments to each other. These payments
In order for that to happen, you need these currencies that are already in the SDR category from the IMF. You need them to be as close to a one-for-one stable as it can be. These currencies have to be stable. In order to make a CBDC a stable coin, as that gentleman said in the last video, you need this shit to be stable. Cross-border payments, domestically, Project Dunbar. I would probably start looking for a crypto that is a domestic use case crypto. Then you have Project Jura. Cross-border settlement using wholesale CBDCs. You can watch these videos. I'm not going to play all of them. But a lot of you are asking yourself, TaijhTV, what the fuck is Agenda 2030? I'm going to fucking show you.
My name is Simona Costanzo So. I am a learning portfolio manager at the United Nations Systems Staff College at the Knowledge Center for Sustainable Development in Bonn in Germany. So the 2030 Agenda is really the wider vision that member states have set out to reach situation of sustainable development. And the 2030
sustainability, sustainable. I keep telling you, remember these words. These words have true meaning in the context.
The agenda starts out with a strong chapter around what the vision and the principles are. And in this introductory part, you find the 5P. So it really talks about the wider principles, the why we need a different kind of thinking, why we need different partnerships, why we need to think differently about the ways to implement the agenda. And then the goals are essentially 17 specific areas where member states are focusing attention to say, if we want to achieve this wider vision, what are the specific topic areas we need to focus on and where we need to measure progress. But the SDGs by themselves are actually just the means to the end. The Sustainable Development Goals are really a roadmap. You know, when we talk about reaching sustainable development,
let's listen to those 17 sustainable goals and see what those are. You see, I can do this all fucking day. But if you ain't gonna listen, it ain't gonna make no fucking sense. If you're not gonna open up your mind to the possibility that this world has changed, none of this will make any sense to you. I'm here to help. I pray to the Most High every fucking night that the basket of cryptos I got have worth in this new world. I pray that this silver that I got will have wealth or worth in this new world. That's how you got to be. That's how you got to be.
In September 2015, the member states of the UN adopted the 2030 Agenda and its 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Under this unified agenda, the international community combined the commitments to sustainable development that were made at the UN's Rio +20 conference with the process of renewing the Millennium Development Goals
Rio in Brazil, right? Anyway, let's continue.
Implemented between 2000 and 2015. What's new about the 2030 Agenda is its universal nature. Its 17 goals apply to all member states, not simply the poor countries and the populations of the South. Furthermore, each of these goals must be achieved in a way which respects the three dimensions of sustainable development: social, economic, and environmental.
Remember, we got to go green.
Among the 17 goals that have been identified are those relating to poverty, education, energy, gender equality, environmental conservation, responsible consumption and production, and the fight against climate change.
That right there is the 17 goals of Agenda 2030. That right there is what you need to get your life familiar with. And with all that being said, I thank you for tuning in to TaijhTV. I would play the whole video, but damn it, you know where it's at because I'm showing it to you. Go look it up yourself. I will catch you all on Tuesday. Have a good night. God bless.